What up, my people? Flash Beats back for another video. You know how we do. Monday morning, hella games last night. I really enjoyed myself, man. We're gonna talk about a couple things right here before we get to the Eagle news. Last night's games, great. I'm still feeling bad. I'm still feeling the pain of the people of Buffalo, man. Listen, I was rooting for y'all. I really was because, I have a kind of soft spot for teams, man, and the fan bases who have not experienced the Super Bowl yet. I know what it feels like. It took 50-something years for the Philadelphia Eagles to win their first one. I wasn't alive in the 60s for the championships and 40s, of course. But I know some of the older fans who remember that, man. So got to experience that. Man, just keep plugging in there, man. That kid Josh Allen, he's a real one. Maybe he just needs the right quarterback coach, man, to calm him down in some of those situations, man. Like, that's really the only difference between him and Mahomes is that Mahomes just has a certain type of calm and poise, in those situations, man, that enables him to see the field the way he needs to see it and make the plays that he needs to make, man. And Josh, he just got to add that one little element to his game, I think, man. But he's a real one, man. Anyway, so congratulations to them damn Chiefs, okay? And then the San Francisco 49ers, as we said, skated by. I think I talked about them last week. So congratulations to the Lions. I mean, I don't have a lot to say about that game because I picked them. Though I would say Tampa Bay put up a little bit more of a fight than I expected. I thought it would be more like 31-10, which it was close to being, but it didn't play itself out like that. Baker Mayfield is a fighter. He put up a little bit of a rumble. Lions, I'm rooting for you guys. Okay, I'm rooting for you, Detroit. I wanted a Detroit and Bills Super Bowl because that would have been two teams we haven't seen there, and we'd have been crowned a new champion, man. I get tired of these teams like the Chiefs that are going back perennially. All right, so we didn't get that. Cool. But we can still get the Lions. All right, and we can get Baltimore, perhaps. I wouldn't mind seeing Lamar get one. It would be the third for the team if they could possibly win. The Lions, I'm rooting for y'all to beat them damn 49ers. The 49ers are so overrated. They have good weapons. They have a respectable defense. That quarterback is, Jake Delhomme. Brock Purdy. He's just ain't got no real arm, no real talent, man. It's just that Mark Sanchez. Brock Purdy gets to dump the ball off, to guys that are able to break tackles and stuff like that, man. So the 49ers, they're never going to win until they replace Jake Delhomme. Brock Purdy. So anyway, on to the Philadelphia Eagles news. Well, we got a few names that are thrown in the bucket now. Here Wink Martindale has been reached out to. Here Ron Rivera, an old face who used to be here, back in the day. Name is propping up again. Denard Wilson, I'm hearing, is possibly a candidate as well. So I guess we'll know because Denard Wilson obviously won't be available until after the Super Bowl. So it's a possibility that we won't have an answer till then, that this thing will linger on, if they're serious about Denard Wilson. Now, Ron Rivera, I really wouldn't mind, but you see, I'm trying to understand how Ron Rivera will work with a team. Ron Rivera is the type of guy, if you look at his history, he being a linebacker himself. I like linebacker coaches, okay? But he's a guy that obviously is going to value the linebacker position, a position that the Philadelphia Eagles, are not really, they don't have the greatest history of valuing. They did grab Nakobe Dean, who was a highly touted linebacker, but I don't know if they're going to really invest in it. You see, my concern is if you bring in Ron Rivera, are you going to give him complete control and autonomy over the defense in terms of personnel and everything, or are you going to try to force him, pigeonhole him into running really what you guys, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, think is the best type of defense anyway? This is what it all boils down to. How much autonomy are they going to give these guys? Same with Denard Wilson. Does he get autonomy, or is he still expected to run a Fangio-style defense? Can he just really try to emulate what Baltimore has done? If you're smart, that's what you'll have him do. Now, Wink Martindale, we know he comes. I think, he'll be bringing something totally different. But that's kind of like an extreme. You go from a team that never blitzes to a team that all they do is blitz. I think the best thing would be to try to go somewhere in the middle. But listen, I really wouldn't be mad at any of those names. I just don't know what's going to happen. But we do know Desai. And Patricia will not be back. We do know that. Which, needless to say, I'm okay with that. Now, regarding this here drama that is surrounding Jalen Hurts, listen. This is not the channel where, you're going to get a lot of that type of content. I don't care much about it. Don't care much for it. This is not the channel where I tell you, you're not going to come here to buy merch. Not a merchant salesman. You're not going to come to this channel to be told that, that the guy that you listen to is the greatest of all time. That ain't it either. You come here if you want to get the truth. You want to get the rundown. You want to get the game. That's what I'm here to provide. Now, what's happening with this article here that was written by this individual for the Philadelphia Inquirer, okay? You got to understand. Right now, WIP, Hugh Douglas, Joe Giglio, the morning guy, the guys that sucked, that took the Angelo spot, the camera, and John Ritchie, right? The big dumb fullback we had. Those guys. They're going to sit here and talk about this Inquirer article, okay, for a number of reasons. Number one, they don't really have much else to talk about, right? They have to find an answer to what's been going on, right? And number two, it's because they're told to do that by their superiors. Their superiors tell them to do that. That's what you got to understand. There is a relationship between sports and media that many people don't understand, right? I read a book on this stuff years ago. Studied some of this stuff, some little college classes, of course, that I took. Sports and media are intertwined and related, okay? Sports are an event that takes place at a particular arena or at a particular site that people come to watch. All right? The way to get people to watch, you got to promote it. The best way to promote is through what? Media. That's where they come in. Okay? So sports and media are intertwined. Media outlets, okay, like the channel that owns WIP Channel 3, also own papers, like the Inquirer, Daily News, so on. Same owner, same building. If you ever go to the KYW3 News building, stuff like that, you'll see the same thing, okay? All right, so what happens is people are not buying these damn newspapers, these Inquirers, all right? The way to get people to buy them is you tell them, you write an article about Jalen Hurts, who's a hot topic right now because people are looking for a scapegoat. People are looking for reasons for the Eagles' demise this year. Okay? So they tell Hugh Douglas, they tell Joe Giglio, they tell all these guys to sit around and just bring up this here drama and talk about, someone in the locker room said Jalen Hurts changed, since he got the money, blah, 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 whatever. All right, so this causes people who otherwise would not know about it because they're not reading the Inquirer, like nobody reads that shit anymore, to now wonder, damn, where is this article? So now we go search for the article. Can't find the article online except for the Inquirer.com. So you go to Inquirer.com, guess what? They don't let you read the article until you subscribe. If you subscribe, was it $1 for a month or 6 months, and then they charge you up after that. So basically, it's a way for them to make money. Okay, that's the way sports and media works. Get your attention, pump it up, right? Because right now there's no game to promote for the Eagles. So now you got to promote drama in order to sell newspapers or in order to sell digital papers. This is what they're doing now. All right, so I'm not getting caught up in that stuff. Okay, if there are leaks in the team, it's likely someone may have said something that they were able to take and then twist and then they exaggerate and turn it out to make a person look like they're saying something that they're not really saying. They make them say something that the writer or the reporter wants to try to say. And this is what they do. All right, I know this firsthand, okay? I'm going to tell you a personal story. Right, I used to work at a particular place, okay? And I used to work in the kitchen at a particular place. It's a religious place, okay, that I attended. All right. Now, it was during the weekend when Iron Mike Tyson, famous heavyweight fighter, was fighting Evander Holyfield. Okay, and this was around the time where Mike Tyson had accepted the religion of Al-Islam, became a Muslim. Okay, and then Evander Holyfield was this, professed born-again Christian, so on, etc. Okay, so you got this. So the fight is coming up, and then you got this two-bit reporter. You got to write an article in the paper to promote the fight, which is his job. There's literally someone at the place to tell him, you got to write an article to promote the fight. That's what's coming up, right? That's his job. So he goes and does that. He needs an angle. All right. So lo and behold, he calls me up. Or not calling me. He's just calling around, I guess. All right. This place was a mosque, okay? So he's calling around. I'm happening to work in the kitchen here, right? So no one's there. I answer the phone. Hello. Okay. Hey, yes, I'm such and such from the Philadelphia Inquirer or the Daily News. It was one or the other. I think it was the Inquirer. From such and such from the Inquirer. Yeah, guy. I hear that you got the big fight coming up, right? Between Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, right? So I'm saying, yeah. Then he says to me, hey, guy, the Christian community, this is what he says. So the Christian community, is really excited about this fight because, you have Mike Tyson who just professed to become Muslim, as he says, right? And then Evander Holyfield is a proud Christian, who is saying that his God won that particular day. Matter of fact, this was after the fight when Mike Tyson lost. Okay, so let me change the story a little bit. I forgot. Right? He said his God won that day. Right? So I heard that. Right? So what I said to him was, I said about maybe 5 to 10 minutes worth of things. Among the things that I said was that the Muslim community were not seeing it as a fight between gods. That if Mike Tyson wins, it doesn't mean that Mike Tyson is more righteous than Evander Holyfield. If Mike Tyson wins, it doesn't mean Islam is more superior to Christianity. Right? I said all these different things. And you know what this guy does? He takes this one little line from something that I said, where I said that, and also, it's possible, that Mike Tyson is also struggling with his religion. Supposedly, he still parties a little bit. He still might actually drink. I may have, in passing, said something like that, right? So, guess what happens? The article comes out a few days later. What's he say? He quotes in the newspaper. He said, heard from a local member of a mosque that, Mike Tyson isn't a good Muslim anyway. So, this is probably has something to do with why he lost, something like that, okay? So he takes part of what I said, right, and then he pushes something that he wanted to do anyway. His whole agenda was he wanted to slander Mike Tyson anyway, right? He didn't care about anything, okay? So you got to understand with these articles, if it's something like about Jalen Hurts, that's like slanderous, coming at his character or something like that, even though it may seem uncharacteristic, you need to understand that that was the guy's agenda from the beginning. So what he's doing is he's fishing around, talking to players, talking to people who may work at an overcare complex, talking to people who may be in the locker room. It could be guys that work security, whatever, who just see Jalen Hurts. It could be guys that work in the training room. You have no idea. So they put out there that, individuals said he's unapproachable. He's this, he's that. right? It could be just someone who said one slither of something that just could be taken and misconstrued and twisted to just be turned into whatever the reporter wants it to be, right? You got to understand that, man. You got to understand that the relationship between sports and media and how the money works with that. And you got to understand these reporters, these truth-bit reporters, the lengths they will go to try to get a story in order to keep their job, in order to feed their family, right? It's a two-bit trash business, which is dying out right now. Okay, people are actually looking for more alternative content, like what I'm providing and what others who are better than myself are providing, right? And this is this is the reality. That's why I ignore that stuff, right? At the end of the day, these are the types of things that come about when the Eagles start losing games, when they get knocked out of the playoffs, when Jalen Hurts is sitting there looking seemingly helpless in the pocket, and when you have a coach that doesn't have answers. All of this bullish is what comes with it, and that's all this is. That's all this is. It's just the BS that comes with losing, right? I'm sure Jalen Hurts was the same guy 7 weeks ago when we were 10-1, right? But when you're 10-1, there's no story there, right? When you start losing, that's when these things come out of the woodworks. Now, what I don't like about it is too many people in our fan base will believe these guys. You'll listen to a Hugh Douglas, you'll listen to a Joe Giglio who's feeding into it, right? Who are not bringing the truth when it comes to this stuff. And then you'll start to develop those same feelings toward Jalen Hurts. So you start spreading that stuff on social media. You start spreading it amongst friends, start spreading it amongst people. So now we're pushing this narrative about the guy that isn't accurate, right? That really has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that the Eagles are losing and you need a scapegoat or whatever, right? So, and then this leads to just bad energy, a bad environment, a bad fan base who then, when Jalen Hurts comes back next year and turns it around and has a successful season, when he's up there, now he just looks at this fan base like, man, y'all just a bunch of, clowns, man. That's when they start calling you bandwagon people. So they start calling you like just emotional and people that they don't respect. That's what happens. It's because you don't know how to be rational and take a step back and really look at the big picture of what's going on, and then make an assessment that is sensible. You know what I mean? So listen, you're looking for the truth. You're looking for the reality of what's going on. Just come right here, man. And if you're off the end of that ledge, I'll bring you back. All right? And others, people like me, don't get caught up in that stuff, man. There's plenty of other resources you can go to online where people are not sitting there just being negative. They don't have agendas and they're trying to bring the team down secretly. They don't have secret hate for Hurts and stuff like that. Because you understand, Hurts is up against a lot anyway. Right? He doesn't fit the mold of what people are looking for. And I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about his size, right? I'm talking about the fact that he was benched in, at Alabama. I'm talking about the fact that, he's a dual threat quarterback. He runs. He's a guy that people constantly questioning his arm talent, right? So he's already up against that. So many of these guys already believe he's not a good player. You know what I mean? It's just that they are forced to be silent when he plays well. They're looking for any instance to come out and start with their bull crap, right? So he's already dealing with that as it is. And, that's one of the reasons I like him, because he has the character to play through that stuff. He has the character to rise above that stuff, and that's really who he is. He's already shown us that. He should have enough equity to where we assume that he's shown us that, So that's where I'm at with that. I don't entertain none of that crap. All y'all come in the comment section, Hurts sucks, all of that. Like, y'all don't know football. Most of y'all not watching all 22s to really make an assessment. Most of you do not know what you're looking at when you see a formation, right? All you know is, oh, God, the quarterback is struggling right now at this time, so he can't read defenses. He can't do this, he can't do that, he can't throw, right? This is the extent of most people's analysis, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm just saying, don't profess to know something that you don't know. Don't profess to be someone that you're not. All right? Because I know it ain't going to work. You come here. All right? So that's where I am right now. These are the updates that I have. Like I said, nothing yet is confirmed when it comes to coaches or anything like that. What I would like to see them do is just clean house, get rid of Sirianni, bring in a Bill Belichick, somebody who knows what the hell he's doing. I would even be okay with a Mike Vrabel, somebody like that. But they're probably not going to do that. Probably going to roll with Nick Sirianni. Probably going to grab it to Denard Wilson, and then we'll see what they do on the offensive side. All right, peace.